This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today I'm showing you Camron responding to 21 Savage comments. Check this clip out.
This is something else I want to point out. It's a lot of talk going on the internet. And I don't want to just relate this to rappers because, and this isn't about any rappers, what I'm about to say. I see somebody on the internet. I wish I remembered his tag. If you guys remember his tag, make sure you tag him when you guys see this. But it was a guy talking about, the streets. The streets, because certain rappers would say the streets. And I don't have an opinion if they say the streets or don't the streets. I'm talking about the rappers and how they feel and everything else. I have zero opinion on how they feel on that. But I did like what this person said. And what this person said is this, that, he was a street, and then he said he basically didn't get nothing out of it. And he wasn't saying the streets, but he basically was like, the streets made me, but at the same time, the streets robbed me of who I could have became. And I was like, yo, I really like the way he put that. Because there's so many people that the streets, how I want to word this. The streets helped you definitely become who you are if you grew up in that environment. But let's say you didn't grow up in that environment and you could have been a chemist or a doctor or something else, but you didn't have that path. So sometimes the streets will rob you of being something greater than you may be already. And a lot of us that come from urban environments are so proud. I'm from the streets. What you could have been. I know Lotus Luck said, "Boy, I couldn't fly in the friendly skies." Why he had to take that drive? Why couldn't he fly the friendly skies? That was one of my favorite battles right there. Shout out to Lotus Luck. Shout out to Calico too. Smart. But yeah, we're so quick to say that, we street this, that, and the third. Now don't get it f***ed up.
Let me just jump in real quick. Camron is approaching this from a balanced mindset. He's not fully rejecting the message, but he's not blindly accepting it either.
Everybody's not going to have the street success story. Everybody's not going to have the Jay-Z, quote unquote, only I'm not saying what he did in the streets, did his rhymes, he says. You're not going to always have the luck of selling 92 bricks, lost 92 bricks and crawl back and get it all back and everything else. That's not for everybody. That destiny is not for everybody. So sometimes you have to think about what could have been if it didn't turn out good already, because the environment that you grew up in. I talked about this a year or two ago on It Is What It Is. We only go with the opportunities that's given to us. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to where, I think I was talking about chicks in Colombia, and I was saying that they don't really necessarily want to sell their for, $35, $40, $50, $60, $70. What was the price, Nick, when you went out there? $50? Yeah, $50. Like, Nick went more recently than me. They raising the prices. I see inflation. It's just tariffs and all that. They might be raising the prices. Bad is $50, but this is the environment they get.
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing, Camron is taking a nuanced position that a lot of people miss when conversations like this happen. He's agreeing with the core idea that committing crimes and glorifying that lifestyle leads nowhere positive, especially for younger listeners watching from the outside. At the same time, he's pushing back against the idea of completely dismissing the streets as if they only represent negativity. For many artists, the streets also represent support systems, early belief, and people who showed love before fame entered the picture. Camron is separating destructive behavior from the environment itself, and that distinction matters. He's basically saying accountability and appreciation can exist at the same time. You can warn people away from crime while still respecting where you came from and the people who helped you grow. That balance keeps the message grounded instead of extreme. It also avoids talking down to the very audience that helped elevate these voices in the first place. Make sure to drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.